pages in both of your books, which I imagine conservatives would feel very comfortable about, particularly, that the subprime mortgage crisis it's caused by liberal do-goodism. All these programs to promote home ownership, with minority communities.
Yeah.
And that's the reason we've had this crisis, is liberal do-goodism. How do you respond to that?
Well, and this is a generational shift, I think, that, I think if you come out and say it's an accumulation crisis that needs to be resolved by government intervention to produce jobs for the proletariat, I think no one's going to talk to you. I think nobody cares. I think it's alienating. It's alienating to economists. It's alienating to policymakers. And it's also, I think it's important, at least for me, to write things that people will read and take seriously, and not just a select few of, orthodox leftists. Now, I'm not putting you in that camp. I also think it's true. So as a historian, I have to be responsible to the archive. So that when I was doing my work on the 1920s, I thought that I was going to write about how credit unions really helped working class people, that these nonprofit lending alternatives really helped working class people. And the truth is they didn't. When you read the records of them, as I did, you get the sense that they are do-gooders who want to feel good about themselves but not actually structurally change society. They're comfortable with inequality. They're comfortable with their position in society. And when you read the accounts of working class people going into these places, they have to beg and scrape for every dollar they get from these nonprofit do-gooder lenders. And also they don't work. That by the mid-20s, there's about 25 of them. There's thousands of industrial small loan lenders. And the reason why they can grow is because they're for-profit. So that it allows them to accumulate capital to actually meet the needs of their borrowing, of their customers. So the question for me is, how do we move away from what feels good to what actually is good? How do we move away from, like, debt jubilee? I don't know if you've been following this idea that you and your little friends can get together, as anybody can get together and buy the bad debt off the secondary markets and forgive it. And you can get it at about 5% of the cost. And it feels good, right? So you go on their website, and they've raised, $500,000, and it allows them to forgive. I forget, I can't do math that quickly. A few $1 million in debt, and they're all like, "Yay, this is the future." Well, there's a $100 billion bad debt market in America. So this isn't the answer. Nobody's that charitable. At least I'm not. And you're not going to be able to do that every single year. So for me, the question is, how do we, instead of doing the thing that feels right, actually sit down and say, all right, well, how do we take these myopic, managerial corporate capitalists and get them to invest money in places that produce jobs and wages to bring back that freaky time, to bring back that freaky post-war period, to bring back jobs to Americans like CNC machinists who go to community colleges and get good jobs. So if it appeals to conservatives, I'm happy with that. If it appeals to liberals, I'm happy with that. Mostly, I just want to create a usable pass that changes, push people on both sides about how they think.